I bought two of the same one. I am a sucker for anything with gold foiling. Wherever I go, if there's even a possibility of office supplies, I look for notebooks. Good morning, gentle viewer. Today on this Lifestyle Friday, I thought I'd talk about some of my journal collection. Now, I can't share everything in my journal collection because we'd be here for days, but I am going to hit some highlights, talk about what I use my journals and notebooks for, and at the end I'm going to share a couple of easy hacks that you can use in your journals. So here we go. Now, full disclosure, I have a lot of notebooks and journals, and I've collected them from so many places over the many years that I have been journaling. And I've been journaling since I was very young. So whenever possible, I will try to link these journals and notebooks in the description box. So here's one of my larger journals, and this is from Barnes & Noble. And it's actually a blank sketchbook. So the pages don't have any lines, and they're made of that thicker sketch paper. And I used this as a travel journal during my trip to South Korea, and it was an extended stay with family, so I used this to document my trip. So every day I was there, I wrote a journal entry about how that day went, and in some places I have doodles and drawings, and here I glued in all of our ticket stubs and itinerary things. Also taped in our packing lists or any shopping lists I made while I was there. And I also taped in some printed photographs that I took during the trip. Here's a shopping receipt from a convenience store. It's starting to look kind of faded, but I think it was for some snacks. And what I really liked about this is it was a great way to reflect upon my day, all of the things that I had seen. Traveling is a great experience, it's very rewarding, but it can also be very overwhelming. So the journal became a great way for me to decompress at the end of the day, get everything that had gone on out of my head and onto paper. And what I did was I actually cut out the last chunk of pages, and in this final page, I glued in these pockets. And this one up here holds postcards. And this one, very inexpertly done, but it's just a pocket with some traveler's maps. So this one is of Pohang. This one is probably of Seoul and Seoul Tower and some other places that we went. This trip is from almost 10 years ago. So I didn't have Instagram at the time. I obviously didn't have a YouTube channel. I didn't have a vlogging camera. So all I had was my regular camera, and I printed out photos when I got back. So this was a great way to document my trip. The next kind of journal I'd like to share are these compact hardcover journals. And you can find these anywhere. I picked this one up at a Books A Million. And what's great about these is that the hardcover makes them nice and sturdy. So great for keeping next to your nightstand, throwing in your bag. And I use these mostly for my morning and evening journaling exercises. They last a long time, and at the end of the week or the month or the year, it's really easy to flip back and think, well, how have I grown as a person? How am I different? How have I changed? And they're not so unique that I would keep these, but they're a really great way to reflect and do thoughtful, introspective, reflective type work. I did buy some more journals recently because you can never have enough journals. These two I picked up at Walmart, and I think they are so, so cute. I'm married to a Navy sailor, and these kind of have that nautical vibe without being too overwhelming. So this one's got the blue mariner stripes with a gold foil whale, and this one's got the green stripes with a gold foil anchor. And I tend to lean away from spiral bound notebooks. I just feel like they get beat up really easily. Like the spirals eventually get out of shape and really bent. But I really like these. They have tabs in them. I feel like these are really great for keeping track of expenses or spending, or you want to keep track of your bills or something like that. This would be a great type of notebook for that. The type of notebook I buy most often is composition notebooks. And as an author, I still do a lot of my brainstorming and outlining by hand. I do some on the computer too, but there's something nice about taking my notebook, heading out to the coffee shop and sitting there with my pen and paper and just getting out all those ideas. I buy these really often and still use them for much of my outlining and note-taking process, especially when I'm starting a new project. Since I write speculative fiction, there's a lot of brainstorming and world building type stuff that has to go on. So I like to do that on paper whenever possible. You can see I filled this one up completely. And this is just a standard composition notebook. And the great thing about these is that they're really inexpensive. You can find them anywhere and they stand up to a lot of abuse. I have some composition notebooks that I've had for years and you can throw them in your bag. They've survived shipping and multiple moves and they still look great. Definitely a great workhorse notebook. And if I were only going to buy one kind of notebook for the rest of my life, it would definitely be these because you can also personalize them. See, this one I made a couple of years ago and this is the original cover. See, I didn't decorate the back. The front I just decorated with metallic foil washi. I'm really into metallic foil, guys. When I was setting up for this video, I realized that on the inside cover, I actually have some NaNoWriMo stickers that I put in here. But this is my current one that I've been kind of penning story ideas, doing some light outlining, and it's almost full too. I don't really keep these that often. Once they get towards the end, I usually just take out the paper and scrap the rest of it just because I have so many of them. And really, my rough drafts, I know some people like to look back on theirs, but for me, I just don't feel like my rough drafts are really worth looking back and reflecting on. They're just not very good. And like I said, I have a ton of composition notebooks and they come in some really beautiful, fun colors nowadays. But this one you can see has gold foil. This one I found recently at Walmart and it also has a gold foil and these really colorful dots. I think this one really has a like Kate Spade kind of vibe. I do have a few of these. They are the 5-star composition notebook, and the great thing about these is that they are hardcover. So if you're someone who's really hard on your notebooks, or you want one that you can save for a long time, these might be worth checking out. They certainly are more expensive, but they'll also stand up to a lot of abuse. Now, I also have a big fondness for these slim notebooks. Like you usually find these in packs of 3, packs of 5, things like that. And I really like these for any kind of appointment or meeting. They're really easy to throw in a bag because they're so small, but also they're kind of unobtrusive. So if you're talking face to face with someone else, it's really convenient to work on your phone. And a lot of times I do that. I just tell the other person I'm just taking notes on my phone about what we're talking about, but sometimes that can feel a little weird. So I like to take notes in these whenever I'm having face-to-face meetings, either with like a doctor or another medical professional, or if it's some kind of business work related deal. I have a ton of them. They're just so pretty and they're so fun. And these are great because they tend to come in a lot of designs. You can be very artsy. This is the one I'm using currently for therapy. And if you're someone who's just getting into journaling, I actually recommend these. So you'll fill them up really quickly. It can be very satisfying to complete a journal or a notebook and to fill it up. And so if you like that sort of feeling and you're trying to get yourself into a journal writing practice, then go with a skinnier, thinner notebook. You'll get that feeling sooner. Plus these are also really easy to tuck into like a side pocket of a backpack or a purse. Or if you have a planner or a binder that you use to keep all your accounts in, you could easily tuck these into a pocket and have it there. All right, now let's talk teeny tiny notebooks, and I just love these. You can really find them anywhere. I feel like I say that a lot, but wherever I go, if there's even a possibility of office supplies, I look for notebooks. Convenience stores, gas stations, pet food supplies, sporting goods stores, wherever. My ever-growing collection of tiny Dollar Tree notebooks. And look, you guys, I just realized I bought 2 of the same one. Do you see that? Like, here are 2 more I found at the Dollar Tree. This one says, follow your dreams. This one says, good vibes only. I am a sucker for anything with gold foiling. Like, is anyone else like that? If you just can't resist buying something because it has gold foil, leave me a comment down below. Let's commiserate on that together. But these are really great for daily to-do lists or when you're traveling. We move a lot since we're in the Navy, and I like to travel as lightly as possible during a PCS. There's just so much else going on, so much else I need to keep track of. So it's really great to bring these along. You can do your itinerary lists, your shopping and moving lists, write down contact information. If you do a daily journaling practice, it would be really easy to do it in one of these. And the great thing is, if it gets lost while you're traveling or moving, not a big deal. So that was just a few of my notebooks and journals. I have a ton more on these shelves, but I can't share all of them with you because we'd just be here for days. But now I'm gonna share a couple of easy journal and notebook hacks that you can try at home. So something that's really convenient in your journal is if it has a pocket in the back. So if we look at this one, it has a pocket already built into it. Great for slipping in little notes or stickers or receipts or anything else you might want to keep the handle on inside of your journal. Of course, not all journals have that. If you look at this one, there's no pocket on the back. But if you look at the last page of the journal, so here are the lined pages. However, the very last sheet is a thicker piece of cardstock paper. It's much thicker than the lined paper, and it's just an end sheet for the journal. So one thing you can do is fold this down and then tape it on the side and the bottom to the back cover, and then that creates a really simple little pocket. So here with this journal, you can see in the back, I've done exactly what I said. I just folded over that cardstock paper, glued it down, and here I stuck in this index card. And this has my current journaling exercise that I'm doing with my therapist, so I can just tuck it right in here. And that way, whenever I do a journal entry, I have that card to refer back to. The last hack is for old journals or journals that you no longer want to use, but they still have a lot of paper in them. Take that paper out and repurpose it. These are from a decorative journal that I had for years. The cover had gotten beaten up, but I hadn't used all the paper yet, so I just pulled the paper out, and now look, these make really great to-do lists. They're decorative and fun. A great way to upcycle an old journal. And with some of those smaller journals I got from the Dollar Tree, I discovered they fit my mini planner perfectly. So all I did was tear out the pages, punch them into the side, and they snap right in. And you could do this with any kind of paper, obviously, but this one just fits my planner so perfectly. I didn't have to trim it down or anything like that. Plus, it's cute to look at. Really great for those really quick shopping lists and things like that. Also, if your notebook has a decorative cover, I think this would be a really great upcycle. Like this one, you see it has a flower design, but the first sheet is this plastic see-through material. So since this journal is completely full, what I'm gonna do is cut out this, cut it down to size, and punch it, and use this in my larger Happy Planner as a bookmark or a dashboard. Lots of uses for that. So thanks for joining me as I fangirled over journals and notebooks. I hope you liked this video. I hope your weekend is full of creativity and positivity. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.